In this video, we'll be taking a look at 3 college football games happening on November 4th, 2023, and providing you with free team picks and total picks for each one of those games, so 6 picks in total. Welcome back to Cash Out Sports. Let's dive right into it. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe and to click the bell icon to get notified as soon as these videos get released, so that you have more time to plan out your bets as we provide these videos on a daily basis. I can guarantee that you'll have all the important information that you'll need on these 3 college football games after fully watching this video. One more thing before we start. If you would like to gain access to our best exclusive sports picks to take your journey to the next level, then check out our Patreon in the link down below, where we offer our best single picks, parlay picks, and much more. Now let's get started. LSU versus Alabama. A clash for supremacy in the Southeastern Conference West is set to ignite when the number 14 LSU Tigers hit the road to face their rival, the number 8 Alabama Crimson Tide. Both teams had a week off last week, giving them time to prepare for this eagerly awaited showdown. In their last encounter, LSU steamrolled Army 62-0, flexing their offensive prowess, while Alabama secured a hard-fought 34-20 victory over number 17 Tennessee. Last year's match saw LSU edge out Alabama with a thrilling 32-31 victory on their home turf. The LSU Tigers enter this game with a 6-2 record, fresh from their dominant 62-0 victory over Army. LSU took control early, leading 38-0 at halftime and outgaining Army 570-193. The Tigers forced 4 turnovers in this comprehensive victory. Their only losses this season have been against Florida State and Ole Miss. LSU's high-powered offense is averaging 47.4 points per game, boasting 339.9 passing yards and 213 rushing yards per game, while converting on 57.8% of third downs. Quarterback Jaden Daniels has had an exceptional season, throwing for 2,573 yards, 25 touchdowns, and a mere 3 interceptions. Running back Logan Diggs has contributed 611 rushing yards and 6 touchdowns, with Malik Neighbors leading the receiving corps, boasting 56 receptions for 981 yards and 9 touchdowns. However, the LSU defense has been somewhat leaky, allowing an average of 26.5 points per game. The Alabama Crimson Tide, with a 7-1 record, are coming off a hard-fought 34-20 win against Tennessee. They overcame a 13-0 deficit in the first quarter and a 20-7 halftime score, ultimately prevailing by outscoring Tennessee 27-0 in the second half. In this game, they were outgained 404-358 but managed to secure the win. Alabama's sole loss this season was at home against Texas, with a final score of 34-24. The Crimson Tide offense averages 30.6 points per game, with 219.5 passing yards and 147.1 rushing yards per game, while converting on 43.4% of their third downs. Quarterback Jalen Milroe has thrown for 1,617 yards, 13 touchdowns, and 5 interceptions. Running back Jace McClellan has amassed 569 rushing yards and 4 touchdowns, with Jermaine Burton leading the receiving game with 23 receptions for 508 yards and 5 scores. The strength of the Crimson Tide has been their defense, allowing an average of just 16.5 points per game this season. The matchup promises to be a great contest between 2 top Southeastern Conference teams, with Alabama enjoying the home field advantage. There's a clear contrast in styles here. LSU aims to score heavily, sometimes allowing their opponents to put points on the board. In contrast, Alabama relies on their robust defense to win games and maintains a more conservative approach to offense, scoring just enough to secure victories. LSU's offense has been highly potent, with only 2 games this season where they scored fewer than 40 points. Alabama's pass defense, while not elite, ranks 3rd in the Southeastern Conference, conceding 197.6 passing yards per game, and LSU is expected to surpass that figure. On the other hand, Alabama may struggle to keep pace once LSU's offense gets rolling. Alabama's offense is ranked only 9th in the Southeastern Conference, lagging behind teams like South Carolina and the Texas Aggies. The Crimson Tide have scored 40 or more points in just 2 games this season, one of which was against Middle Tennessee State. They may not be well equipped for a high-scoring shootout. Alabama has yet to lose in conference play and currently leads the Southeastern Conference East, but they will face one of the most potent offenses in the nation in this matchup. LSU is averaging over 550 yards per game and has scored 48 points or more in 4 consecutive games. While Alabama's defense has been strong, LSU's offense is on another level. Despite Alabama's recent success, with 7 straight wins and 8 wins in their last 10 meetings against LSU, the Tigers possess possess a strong offense and a more reliable quarterback. Although LSU hasn't fared well in recent wins against Alabama, they have covered the spread in 6 of the last 10 meetings. Offering points with LSU's explosive offense in the modern era of college football appears to be a wise choice. This preview leans towards LSU as the better team from top to bottom, with a more dependable quarterback. In this era of college football, prioritizing offense seems sensible, so the LSU Tigers to cover the spread as underdogs is our full game side pick. LSU has played 8 games this season, and all 8 have exceeded the total. If they hadn't lost those early games, their offense might be drawing comparisons to Joe Burrow's legendary season. Similarly, Jaden Daniels would be in the Heisman conversation, as he currently ranks 4th in the nation in passing. LSU is 1st in total offense and scoring. Thus, LSU is poised to accumulate points in this game. On the contrary, Alabama, despite its reputation, has not been a team that consistently goes under the total. They have surpassed the total in 5 of their 8 games, making this pick even more evident. Jaden Daniels is having a Joe Burrow-like season, with LSU's offense flying high. Although LSU has struggled in Heisman moment games, Daniels is a special quarterback, and he is expected to help the Tigers score in the mid-30s. On the other side, Alabama will attempt to keep pace, given that they are also averaging 31 points per game. It's also worth noting that LSU will be without one of its top defensive backs, Zy Alexander, which will make Jalen Milroe's task easier. The Crimson Tide should have no trouble putting points on the board against LSU's vulnerable defense. With LSU's unstoppable offense and Alabama's ability to score, this game is likely to exceed the projected total. Over the projected total is our full game total pick. Oregon State versus Colorado. Oregon State and Colorado are set to face off for the 14th time this Saturday, marking the conclusion of their Pac-12 era as the conference prepares to disband at the end of the season. While Colorado has its sights set on the Big 12, Oregon State's future remains uncertain. The Buffaloes, at 4-4, head into this contest after 2 consecutive losses, including a second-half collapse against Stanford 2 weeks ago. On the other hand, the 6-2 Beavers are aiming to rebound after a recent loss to Arizona, which has jeopardized their chances of making the Pac-12 title game in Las Vegas. In a hard-fought battle against Arizona, the Beavers experienced challenges, eventually suffering their second loss of the season. This defeat added to their previous setback against Washington State on the road, putting them in a precarious position in the race for the coveted top 2 spot in the Pac-12, which guarantees a trip to Las Vegas. The Beavers now face a challenging climb with competition from Washington, USC, and Oregon for their postseason aspirations. Their performance against Arizona raised questions, particularly concerning quarterback DJ Uiagalelei's struggles, as cornerback Tacario Davis narrowly missed several interception opportunities. This struggle against Arizona, a team that has upset Washington State and challenged both Washington and USC, underscores the Beavers' need to regroup and find their stride in the competitive Pac-12. Oregon State's quest for Pac-12 prominence remains a continuous challenge, and their recent loss to Arizona emphasizes the intensity of conference competition. To secure that coveted top 2 spot, they will need to address their shortcomings and develop a more consistent game plan. The Pac-12 competition is intense, and every game plays a crucial role in determining their postseason destiny. As they reflect on this recent loss, Oregon State will undoubtedly be working hard to fine-tune their strategies and performances against a struggling Colorado team that has lost 2 consecutive games. Colorado entered the Rose Bowl with high expectations but was swiftly brought back to reality by UCLA. While the Buffaloes managed to grab an early 6-0 lead in the first quarter, their offense struggled for the remainder of the game, mustering only 3 more points as the Bruins secured a 28-16 Pac-12 conference victory. Travis Hunter stood out as the lone bright spot for the Buffaloes. In just his second game back from an early season injury sustained against Colorado State, Hunter showcased his athleticism with 2 acrobatic interceptions. However, the overall offensive performance left much to be desired, as Colorado could only muster 213 offensive yards. Quarterback Shedeur Sanders went 2-7 of 42 for 231 yards and 1 touchdown, but it was evident that UCLA had the upper hand with their 487 total offensive yards, highlighting the Buffalo's struggles on both ends of the field. As frustration grew among fans, concerns were expressed on social media, particularly regarding the Buffalo's difficulties and head coach Deion Sanders. The team's promising start to the season was a distant memory, as they now find themselves at a 4-4 overall record and a challenging 1-4 in Pac-12 play. With hopes of reaching a bowl game for the first time since 2020, the Buffaloes face a steep road ahead, and one of their most pressing concerns is protecting their quarterback. Shedeur Sanders, who endured 7 sacks in the game. Oregon State boasts an impressive 23-11-0 against the spread record, the best in the Pac-12 since the start of the 2021 season. This indicates that the Beavers consistently exceed expectations in away games. Colorado's decision to replace its offensive line, while potentially beneficial in the long run, may lead to short-term disruptions. A transitional period in the roster often results in inconsistencies, which may work in favor of Oregon State. With the Beavers considered the stronger team, they have a good chance of capitalizing on potential weaknesses in the Colorado lineup. The emotional aspect of the game should not be underestimated. With a motivated Oregon State team eager to bounce back against a disappointing Colorado squad, they have the potential to exploit the vulnerabilities of a disheartened Buffaloes team. The Buffaloes defense showed signs of life in Week 9, but it's challenging to trust Colorado in a tough conference matchup against Oregon State. The Beavers are a well-balanced team, and their offense has enough firepower to challenge the Buffaloes. So the Oregon State Beavers to win and cover the spread as favorites is our full game side pick. Oregon State's road games since the start of 2022 have consistently seen the overhit, with a 10-5-0 record. Coach Prime's Colorado team has had the overhit in 3 out of their 4 games this season. With the Beavers boasting a 5-3-0 over-under record this season, they have shown an ability to consistently score points. With a veteran quarterback leading the offense, they have the experience and skill to move the ball effectively and contribute to a high-scoring game. Colorado's defensive struggles, ranking 122nd in the country and giving up an average of 35 points per game, often lead to high-scoring contests. Colorado's defense has allowed 35 points per game, with 310.4 passing yards and 165 rushing yards on average. This is expected to be a fruitful day for the Beavers' offense. The Buffaloes will continue to rely on their passing game, which should contribute to the over. The total has gone over in 4 of Colorado's last 5 home games. Additionally, the over has hit in 9 of Oregon State's last 12 road contests, and in 4 of the last 5 meetings between the Beavers and Buffaloes. Over the projected total is our full game total pick. UCLA versus Arizona. The number 19 UCLA Bruins and the resurgent Arizona Wildcats are set to clash in their last Pac-12 showdown before embarking on new conference adventures. UCLA will be leaving the West Coast to join the Big Ten, while Arizona prepares to make the leap to the Big 12. This matchup, marking the 48th meeting between the two schools, carries a rich history, with UCLA leading the series at 27-18-2 all-time. Their rivalry traces back to 1927 when the Wildcats secured victory in their inaugural encounter. Last year, Arizona prevailed against the Bruins with a 34-28 scoreline. As these two teams prepare for their final Pac-12 showdown, the strength and depth of the West Coast continues to be a prominent storyline in the college football season. The UCLA Bruins are seeking to build on their recent success with back-to-back wins, the most recent being a 28-16 victory over Colorado. Dante Moore has thrown for 1,330 yards, 10 touchdowns, and 7 interceptions with a completion rate of 51.8%, while Ethan Garbers has thrown for 643 yards, 5 touchdowns, and 3 interceptions with an impressive 69.9% completion rate. Carson Steele leads the Bruins with 674 rushing yards and 6 touchdowns, and TJ Harden has 466 rushing yards and 5 scores. Logan Loya leads UCLA's receiving corps with 34 receptions for 421 yards and 3 touchdowns, while J. Michael Sturdivant has 407 receiving yards and 3 scores. 5 more Bruins have accumulated over 100 receiving yards this season. Darius Muasau leads UCLA's defense with 43 total tackles, while Leatu Latu boasts a team-high 8.5 sacks, and Gabriel Murphy has 6 sacks. Muasau has also recorded 4 sacks, and Alex Johnson leads with 3 interceptions. The Arizona Wildcats come into this game fresh from a win against Oregon State, with a final score of 27-24, improving their record to 5-3 this year. Noah Fafita has thrown for 1,221 yards, 11 touchdowns, and 3 interceptions with a remarkable 75.8% completion rate. Jonah Coleman leads the Wildcats in rushing with 488 yards and 3 touchdowns. DJ Williams has also contributed 297 rushing yards, while Teteroa McMillan leads the team with 672 receiving yards and 6 touchdowns. Jacob Cowing has a team-high 61 receptions for 461 receiving yards and 7 touchdowns, while Tanner McLachlan and Jonah Coleman have 323 and 291 receiving yards, respectively. On defense, Jacob Mondu has a team-high 63 total tackles, with with 3.5 sacks, and Taylor Upshaw boasts a team-high 6.5 sacks. Arizona has emerged as a strong team in a highly competitive conference, and the close line suggests they have made significant progress. The Wildcats have demonstrated their improvement by defeating Washington State and Oregon State, making them genuine threats to hand UCLA their second loss. Arizona nearly defeated Washington and USC, showcasing their competitiveness. With Dante Moore still sidelined at quarterback for the Bruins, Arizona is favored with the points in this Pac-12 clash. While the Bruins seek revenge after being defeated by Arizona as 20-point underdogs last season, the line feels shorter than expected for UCLA. Arizona has shown its mettle by covering in all 4 previous games against ranked opponents this season, as well as maintaining a strong 7-2-0 against the spread record when facing ranked teams since the beginning of 2021. This track record suggests that Arizona is not only capable of covering the spread but also poses a credible threat to upset UCLA outright. A victory here would also secure bowl eligibility for Arizona, so the Arizona Wildcats to cover the spread as underdogs is our full game side pick. Arizona and UCLA have been leaders in the We Love Low-Scoring Affairs and Unders Club this season. Their combined under record is a remarkable 13-3-0. Both teams have developed strong defenses, with UCLA ranking 9th in the country for scoring defense and Arizona at 38th. These two excellent defenses will meet under the bright lights of Tucson. If you're considering taking the over in this game, you might as well throw your money into a bonfire for entertainment. Expect the total to fall below the projected number in this matchup. Under the projected total is our full game total pick. That's all for now, so if you have any other games you would like reviewed, then leave a comment down below with the game you would like analyzed. Subscribe to our channel, leave a like on this video, and we'll get to it as soon as we possibly can. We would also love to hear your opinion on the picks presented to you in this video, whether you agree or disagree with them, so leave a comment down below and do let us know.